have to suffer through a victory lap from Cam Newton
Definitely.
today.
Yeah, a test isn't the word he was looking for there,
The
but
fool's gold is the fool's gold discussion valid at this point after yesterday?
If you're going to say that Drake May was like Josh Allen, that would be a fool's gold version that you saw in the second half.
I wouldn't say that because Buffalo is a good football team, and it was a game that you had an opportunity. You should have won. You didn't. Granted, they played better than you for 60 minutes. But it was a game that you were in and you can win.
But you didn't win it. And
fool's gold to me is more of like when you're good, but then you play against a good team and that good team blows doors on you.
Oh, it's only blows doors.
No, I think fool's gold is that we thought the Patriots were the team that was, going to claim the division and put its stake in the ground as the new beast of the AFC East. And I think yesterday in the first half, we all did that.
Yeah.
And that second half, the Bills yesterday, we were all outraged that the Bills were favored, right? We all thought that was kind of crazy. There was a lot of Patriot fans thinking that was part of the hate. Well, they came here and came back from 21 points down and beat you at Gillette Stadium. You had one completed pass in the fourth quarter. I think that if I'm Cam Newton, I'd take a brief victory lap today.
You would.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you lost to a good football team. That doesn't show me fool's gold. Fool's gold is when you in a game like that, like I said, where you come out and it's like, all right, let's see what you do against a good football team, and then that team blows the doors out of you. Go, wait a second, they
did in the second half.
No.
5 straight touchdowns.
No, I understand that, but you went into halftime up 24-7.
Thankfully, it's a 60-minute game.
You blew doors for the first 30 minutes, and then they blew doors for the second 30 minutes.
Well, but you understand what Cam Newton was saying, which was that they had yet to, other than that win in Buffalo, that they had yet to beat a really good football team, and they were unable to do that yesterday, which could cause some concern.
But they did beat the Bills already. Like, I'm with Wiggy on this one. It's not like, okay, yeah, they beat the Dolphins, they beat the Jets, and then all of a sudden they have any type of a difficult game ahead of them and they get blown out. Like, people thought that they were going to lose against the Bucs. That was a game that was on people's minds as maybe a trap game for the Patriots. Like, Cam Newton does not make sense to me at all when he brings up the fool's gold. It does not. I would not take a victory lap. I think he sounds dumb when he does it.
Yeah, because I would look at it like this, right? I would look at it, and Courtney's right. You went down to Tampa and beat a good football team.
The Bucs are not a good football team. No, just lost the Falcons.
They were when we went against them.
When you beat them, they were a good football team.
We thought it was a good win. In hindsight, it wasn't.
Right.
Okay, so the Bucs were fool's gold.
Definitely.
So that's a team that maybe was fool's gold.
Well, no, but I think it's fair to look at. I don't think anybody's panicking, but it is fair to look and ask the question and go, what do you consider so far, minus the Bills game early in the season? What do they have to show for signature wins against good football teams?
Right. Yesterday was on its way to becoming the beginning, the true big statement to the NFL. We won the division with 3 weeks to go. We beat the team that won it 5 straight years head-to-head. We went 2-0 against them. The AFC comes through Foxborough, and instead they peed down their leg.
Well, yeah, you don't have a bunch of signature wins. I would agree with you on that because, unfortunately, the teams that you played this year haven't been very good.
Well, that's fool's gold.
Right.
Well, no.
Yesterday was a chance to legitimize the season in the eyes of many people, and they failed to do that.
But I think there were a lot of people that felt like the Buffalo Bills were going to win yesterday.
Well, they were favored.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, I know they were favored, but there were people who said, okay, Buffalo could win this game.
But it has nothing to do with blowouts. Like, fool's gold means it looks like it, but it's not it.
No, I think that fool's gold is like you think you're a good team and then you're really not one. To be in a competitive game against another team in the AFC that's very competitive after beating them the first time around, I think is no indication of them being fool's gold.
You lost that game yesterday
by 4 points.
Yeah, because of the mistakes that you made. You gave a game away. If you watch that football game, Buffalo, they did beat you. But you gave that football game away. Fool's gold means Buffalo comes in here from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. They curb stomped you. And people like, wait a second.
It's not about blowouts.
That's what it is, though. I don't know what
we have two different
to me, fool's gold is like, all right, we think this is a good football team. They play a good football team, and then guess what? They get their doors blown off.
I'm going to go around the room. Did yesterday change how you feel about this team, this season, and what they can do in the playoffs?
No.
It did for me a little bit.
Totally.
I've been on early, I think, saying that your expectations can and should change during a season. And I think right up until halftime, I had them getting to the Super Bowl. I don't know if I feel that same way now. At this point.
But what changed?
Sean, where are you? Hold on.
No, I'm with Wiggy and Courtney. I have not changed my perspective on this team after yesterday's game. I agree. They were competitive with a team that was favored in that game. I thought the Patriots could come in and win. They had a chance to, and they didn't. Like, I don't look at this team any less than I did before the game was played.
I do find it comical that the same people that were bitching about the Bills being favored are now citing it as a reason why it wasn't as good of a loss or wasn't as bad of a loss. Yeah.
What do you mean?
People building up to the game were, I'm not saying you, Shime. I'm saying there were a lot of people that were very angry locally at the disrespect shown by Vegas that the Bills would be favored in Gillette when the Patriots hadn't lost in 80-plus days and they'd already beat them in Buffalo.
Yeah.
And then you're saying, well, it was competitive and whatever. Like, you can't have it both ways.
Well, no. I was upset like that the Patriots weren't favored. Like, I'm like, wait a second. You're at home. You already beat this team. Now, granted, I don't think the spread should have been, 5, 5.5, 7, or even 3.5. I think the Patriots should have been favored by 1, whatever that number was that the Buffalo Bills. I felt like that was a little disrespectful, but I also still felt like the Buffalo Bills are a good football team and they have Josh Allen. And if you don't play the way you're supposed to play, they'll beat you. So when I look at the remainder of the schedule, you go to Baltimore next week. If you don't come ready to play and do what you're supposed to do, Lamar Jackson can make enough plays in a second half of a game to beat you. If you lose to the Jets in Miami, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Losing to the Buffalo Bills, it's disappointing, but I don't look at that and go, oh, the Patriots, I look at them completely. Buffalo's a good football team.
Because, like, if you see Buffalo again, you think it's going to be a competitive game, right? You don't think they're going to get blown out and the Patriots are going to have a chance to win?
Yeah.
It should be.
Then I don't see this team any differently.
Yeah. But you can also go, like, this is the going back and looking at things, post haste. You can also look at that win earlier in the season for the Patriots and put it all on turnovers by Josh Allen, which are not going to happen all the time. When you play Josh Allen in the playoffs, he's not going to turn the ball over 3 times.
I just look at it the way we always looked at things, Greg, as Patriots fans, that the Patriots would own the AFC. And then the Jaguars would beat them in the regular season. And it'd be like, oh, they're going crazy. Then you play them in the playoffs and you win and you laugh at them and say, you won the game that didn't matter.
Yeah.
We're not afraid of you. Bills fans today are laughing at Patriots fans for the premature celebration, thinking that they had the division. And then Josh Allen, out of nowhere, gets 5 straight touchdowns on 5 consecutive drives, and they beat you in Gillette Stadium when you had already printed the shirts for winning the division.
Well, I think they're laughing at you for the being up 24/7 and going, oh, it's over. Patriots are going to win. Like, I mean, there were people who went to social media and did that.
I mean, Matt Collins and Steph Diggs were openly chirping the Bills with their, like, right before the half or right after the half.
Like, I think they're but I think Buffalo Bills fans go, all right, if we got to go into New England, we can beat them. But if Josh Allen doesn't play exceptional, they can beat us, and that's a team that we have to worry about.
I don't think that loss yesterday made Bills fans or Bills players or Bills coaching staff look at New England as fool's gold or anything less than what they are. And I think that moving forward in a postseason, they're not going to overlook the Patriots. Yeah. I think that the Bills kingdom is a group of people that would be worried about New England moving forward.
They would say, get your ish together for 60 minutes, because if the Patriots would have did what they were supposed to do, that game might have been lopsided, and the Patriots.
But they didn't.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But when we look at the second half of this Patriots football team in yesterday's game, that doesn't tell me that they're going to go and come out and have 3 drives in the second half where they go 3 and out, and then and then they have another drive where they go a little bit longer, but they ultimately punt the football. Like, I don't see them doing that again.
But that is unfortunately what they did.
Yes.
Against the Bills team that they needed to beat to win the division, that they needed to beat to secure home field, that they needed to beat to show everybody that they're not fool's gold, and it unfortunately didn't happen.
And Greg, look at the AFC this year. No Burrow, no Mahomes. It is wide open. Bo Nix is likely to have home field advantage in the playoffs in the AFC. If you win that game yesterday, if you just get one touchdown, other than the Henderson long run in the second half, you win the game, you win the division, and you can start building your roster, whether it's for the bye or the home game that you just clinched, in a way that gets you most ready. Now your margin of error is even smaller, and who knows what the AFC is like next year.
I think in a lot of cases, Wiggy, this is why it's surprising to me. A team that's up 21-0 ends the half up 24-7 at home and is unable to close out. I think you would be all over them. I think you would be questioning that football.
No, I would say you choked that one away.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is.
But if that team, I would say they choked that one away. It's one of those games like the Pittsburgh Steelers game we talk about. You gave Pittsburgh that football game because of the turnovers. Like, so you can look at a game and say, all right, you choked yesterday's game away. If you play like that again, which I haven't seen them consistently play like that, where they choke games away in the second half, that's why I look at this and I go, okay.
But that was basically a playoff game. Like, I mean, like let's call it a playoff game.
No, it's not a playoff game because they got next week to play.
Okay, but there was a lot on the line.
A lot more for the Patriots on the line yesterday.
And that's when they choked it away, which could be concerning.
Because the Bills aren't likely going to win the division.
No.
The Patriots had a chance to win the division yesterday.
Yeah.
The Bills were going to get in as a wild card no matter what happens.
Right.
And you're at home with that lead and you don't win that game. Patriots fans.
But if Buffalo loses that game, they're on the verge of not being in the playoffs.
They have 5 losses. They're absolutely still going to be a playoff team.
I said they're on the verge. They would be the 7th seed if they lost that game.
I think if they lost yesterday, they're still a playoff team.
Who do they have left?
They got the Eagles, and then they have, I'll tell you right now.
The Jets.
The
Tough
Eagles,
one.
Eagles and the Jets. And you got...
They have 3 games left.
They got Eagles, Jets.
And Browns.
And Browns.
Okay, they're a playoff team.
Yeah. But so are you.
Right.
Yeah. All right. And I think...
Nobody's saying they're not, the New England Patriots are not a playoff team.
Right.
But fair to ask if in a moment that was really big for you, if the fact that you choked it away is an indicator that you may not, we may need to lower our expectations.
So let me ask you the question then. What's more likely to happen? They choke again or they get their ish together, and if they're up 24-7, they hold on to the lead?
Latter.
But what are you basing that on? You don't have any body of work.
Well, what are you going to base it off?
With the body of work that I saw yesterday.
I mean, all season long, when they've had a lead in the third quarter, they
Thank
haven't lost the game up until yesterday.
Which was a very good football team they played for the second time this season. Give me another one. I mean,
give you another team that they played that was good.
Another really good football team.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No, they're not a good team.
What do you mean?
They didn't even have their top receivers.
Right.
Everybody was worried about that game going into it.
And
so
you're playing down in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, you can look at Baker Mayfield and his injury now and say that they're not a good football team. But back then, if you go back and listen to what we were saying leading up to it, there were a lot of people that were worried about the pass.
You were underdogs in that game.
Right.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield was healthy in that game. They didn't have Mike Evans. I give you that. They didn't have Chris Godwin, but I mean, if we're gonna look, all I would say is that yesterday was disappointing because that was a game that you had the opportunity to win. Not only even choking it away, you still had a chance with over 2.5 minutes, 3 timeouts, down 35-31.
Can you explain that drive to me? I'm shocked at how badly they did with that drive. How Drake May looked like there was no urgency. It was bizarre.
So to me, when I look at this football game, if they were to play Buffalo again, I'll say this. Could they lose? Yes, but the game will be competitive, and you will have a chance to win.
But Cam Newton wasn't saying it's fool's gold that they could be competitive. He's saying it was fool's gold that they were a legit Super Bowl contender.
But they are a legit Super Bowl contender.
But what you're saying is all about blowouts. That had nothing to do with the conversation.
No, but when I think of fool's gold,
I know that's what you think, but that's not what.
But then Cam Newton, when he says fool's gold, and I would say for me and most people, when you think, and I don't want to talk for everybody, but when you think of fool's gold, you think of a team that looks really good, plays a good team, and then gets blown out.
Yeah, that's your and I definition of it. The fact that you have a different definition, we're going to see things differently.
Yeah, I
don't know who's right.
I don't see fool's gold as you play well, then you play against a good team.
Santo gets the real stuff.
And it's a competitive game, and you lose. I just look at that like, all right,
if you had to tell me who the class of the AFC is today, is it the Bills or the Patriots? If just those two teams.
If just those two teams?
Yep.
It's the Bills because they have Josh Allen.
because they have Josh Allen.
Right.
Somebody who's done it before.
If you win that game, it's not the Bills, and that's the difference.
But here's the thing. If you win that game, say you go on and win that football game, and Buffalo comes in here in the playoffs, I don't think people are still are writing off the Bills.
Nope.
Nobody said writing off, but if you're 2-0 and you beat them at home to win the division with 3 games remaining, then you have solidified yourself and validated yourself in a way.
If they won that football game,
Totally
it would
different.
be completely different.
We do booking hotels right now.
It would be completely different. The narrative on Drake May, who, was being anointed as the next MVP, that would be different. All of that would be different.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is, I think when I look at this, I look at yesterday's game, and I say you choked that game away. The narrative would be different if you would have beat the Buffalo Bills. But I would still say if you were playing them in the playoffs and they were coming to New England, I would not count out the Buffalo Bills, even if you beat them twice during the regular season, because the one thing that they have that you don't have is they have Josh Allen, who's proven he can win in the postseason. Your guy is still a rookie and has to prove that. So no matter what it is, even if you beat them, people would still be like, I'm picking Buffalo to win this game because Josh Allen has proven he could do that.